still a great spot. Views are just incredible. This is really, really cool. These sites are kind of goofy. Basically the road just kind of widens up and you pull off and that's your spot. Welcome back. In our last video, we wrapped up the first leg of our 5-state, 2,800-mile RV road trip with a one-night stay at Blue Mountain State Park, which is in southwestern Minnesota. In this video, we're going to be making our way over to the Badlands, where we're going to do 2 nights boondocking before heading over to River's Edge RV Park in Casper, Wyoming. After that, we're going to head up to Fishing Bridge RV Park, which is our primary destination in the heart of Yellowstone. It is morning of day 2, and morning, dog. Looks like a beautiful morning. These birds were so loud, I actually thought it was your sound machine going off. Yeah. Looks like we missed a beautiful sunrise, or at least I did. Probably hard to see in the camera, but there are hundreds of birds in the trees right now, just making all kinds of racket. I have no idea what kind they are. We are just about ready to head out, day 2 here, and shame we only got to stay one night because this is a really cool park. Anyways, a little tip we learned this last week, a way to save on visitor fees at Minnesota state parks. Traditionally when you come, you have to either buy an annual pass, those run like $40 some, or you have to get a nightly pass, those are, you know, around $7 a night. Or you can go to your local library and they actually rent out state park passes for free. They're good for up to 7 days, and you don't even have to return them. When you're done, you just throw them away. You do have to check in advance because they do have a limited supply. I think when we called to get ours, there was only one left, but neat way to stay at a Minnesota State Park for free. We're doing our final walk around, making sure everything is tidied up, and I asked my wife to put a second set of eyes on the hitch and tell me how it looked, and she said it looks very hitchy. I think that's good. One of the challenges we're going to have today is wind. We're going to be driving on I-90 right through South Dakota farmland for the next 4.5 hours, and the forecast says that the wind's going to be pretty strong today, up to the mid-20s. In Sioux Falls later this afternoon, there's actually a wind warning with gusts up to 36. So we actually left a little earlier than we wanted just to avoid some of that afternoon wind. One of the apps I use to monitor what the wind is doing is called Windy. And it's nice to give a really good visual representation of what the wind's doing, where it's coming from. It's all color coded, and you can actually go through and see what the wind's going to do hour by hour. So we'll kind of keep an eye on it. If it gets too bad, we'll probably get off the freeway and just take some county roads so we can go at a slower speed. So the wind really picked up, so we ended up on the back county roads, which will add a little bit of time to our trip, but we actually don't mind because it's a nice way to see some of these small towns and rural South Dakota that you wouldn't really see going on the freeway. we were hoping to find a place to fill up our water tank for our next 2 nights of boondocking. We're in Wall, South Dakota, just north of the Badlands, where the famous Wall drug is. We stopped at a gas station, but they said, no, we do not allow RVs to fill up. So we found Sleepy Hollow RV Park. For $10, you can fill up your water tank, and for an extra $10, you can dump your black and gray, which we might come here and do at the end of our boondocking trip. So we're gonna fill up here, and then we're gonna go find a spot to boondock. Well, this is the Badland boondocking area, and we have no idea what to expect. Never done this before. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of people here, really where to go. It is Sunday, late in September. I can't imagine it would be too busy, but I can already tell there's some people out here. Class Bs, some vans. All right, so we're just gonna cruise around and look for a spot, I guess. Just this random spot. We're perfectly level front to back, and almost perfectly level side to side. This is like the most level site I think I've ever been at. Just randomly right here. All right, we're good to go right here. We found our spot here. Well, it would have been really nice to camp right on the edge with 2 impulsive teenage boys. We thought it'd be a little more prudent to give us a little space, but that's okay, because I think we're still going to get a really good view from all sides and have a little privacy too. This is pretty sweet. Since we don't have any solar or anything like that, our power source for the next couple days is going to be our generator. It is a dual fuel, so we have it full of gas, but we're going to start out using propane. It's a little more efficient. After getting set up, we had dinner with a view, and then we were able to experience one of the best sunsets we've seen in a long time. Morning. It is day 2 in the Badlands here, and we're doing something we don't do very often and getting up to watch a sunrise. Should be pretty good coming up over the canyon or gorge or whatever you call this. We want to grab some chairs. This should be pretty good. Be a lot better with coffee, but since our coffee machine needs the generator and it's too early to run that, we're without coffee. Sunrise. Okay, we're gonna get the boys ready and we're gonna head over to Badlands National Park itself. Keep in mind a couple things boondocking out here. This area is nowhere near the actual hub center of the Badlands National Park. That's about 30 miles to the west that way. So we're gonna head over there, do some hiking, explore the visitor center, grab some lunch. Another thing to keep in mind with boondocking out here, if you're wondering about cell phone coverage, not an issue whatsoever. There's a couple cell towers over there. There's one behind us here. I don't think my phone has ever had so many bars. Really great phone coverage out here. Hi. Could we get the, is it the America the Beautiful Pass, one that gets you in all the parks? All right, yeah, we'll take that. So this path starts out with a boardwalk and then it opens up into this area. You can just go out and explore on your own, or there's another path you can follow. You just got to look for these yellow markers and then they're numbered in order. So there's 5, and it looks like 6 is way over there. And that takes you on a hike that's about a half mile long. Yeah, that's just amazing. Wow. So that's actually the end of the trail. We're off the trail. Yeah. Worth it. The Ben Rifle Center is the main hub of the park. Here they have an information desk that is staffed by a park ranger. They can get you some maps, help you pick out the right hiking trail, or answer any other questions you might have. There's a gift shop and a bookstore, and you can learn more about the Badlands by walking through a variety of well-done museum displays. Right next to the visitor center is Cedar Pass Lodge. They have another gift shop and a small restaurant where you can get a variety of things like burgers, but we all went with the famous Indian taco. This is a campground that's in the park itself. I actually thought about staying here, but they didn't have any sites open that had electricity, and if we were gonna boondock anyways, might as well do it on the wall. And these sites are kind of goofy. Basically the road just kind of widens up and you pull off and that's your spot. Don't think I've really seen that before. I also never seen this too, like each picnic table has its own little canopy. That's kind of nice. Yeah, so it'd be really hard to have a rig with slide outs here because it would go right into the road.
So you must not be allowed to use them then, right?
Yeah,
if you're not using it.
If your rig had 2 slide outs, I don't know how you could use most of these sites. So this guy has his slide out, then your entryway goes into the road. You do have a nice view though. The park has a lot more to offer, but there's only so much we could do in one day. So after hitting up another hiking trail, we headed back to the camper to call it a night. Stay tuned. Up next, we head over to Casper, Wyoming for a 2-night stay at River's Edge RV Park. Then we make our way over to our main destination, Yellowstone National Park. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.